Learning never exhausts the mind. Nothing strengthens authority so much as silence. Tears come from the heart and not from the brain. The greatest deception men suffer is from their own opinions. I love those who can smile in trouble, who can gather strength from distress, and grow brave by reflection. They whose heart is firm, and whose conscience approves their conduct, will pursue their principles unto death. There are three classes of people: those who see when they are shown, those who do not see. Art is never finished, only abandoned. As a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so a life well spent brings happy death. I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Being willing is not enough, we must do. Why does the eye see a thing more clearly in dreams than the imagination when awake? Iron rusts from disuse, water loses its purity from stagnation. Even so does inaction sap the vigor of the mind. Time stays long enough for anyone who will use it. The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. Nature is the source of all true knowledge. She has her own logic, her own laws, she has no effect without cause nor invention without necessity. The human foot is a masterpiece of engineering and a work of art. The beginnings and ends of shadow lie between light and darkness and may be infinitely diminished and infinitely increased. Shadow is the means by which bodies display their form. The forms of bodies could not be understood in detail but for shadow. In rivers, the water that you touch is the last of what is past and the first of that which comes, so with present time. Where there is shouting, there is no true knowledge. While I thought that I was learning how to live, I have been learning how to die. Water is the driving force of all nature. Intellectual passion drives out sensuality. I have offended God and mankind because my work didn't reach the quality it should have. A beautiful body perishes, but a work of art dies not. Marriage is like putting your hand into a bag of snakes in the hope of pulling out an eel. He who loves practice without theory is like the sailor who boards ship without a rudder and compass and never knows where he may cast. All our knowledge has its origins in our perceptions. It's easier to resist at the beginning than at the end. Our life is made by the death of others. Medicine is the restoration of discordant elements. Sickness is the discord of the elements infused into the living body. Just as food eaten without appetite is a tedious nourishment, so to study without zeal damage the memory by not assimilating what it absorbs. Knowledge of the past and of the places of the earth is the ornament and food of the mind of man. The natural desire of good men is knowledge. He who is fixed to a star does not change his mind. Anyone who conducts an argument by appealing to authority is not using his intelligence, he is just using his memory. There are four powers: memory and intellect, desire and covetousness. The two first are mental and the others sensual. The three senses, sight, hearing and smell cannot well be prevented, touch and taste not at all. The human bird shall take his first flight, filling the world with amazement, all writings with his fame, and bringing eternal glory to the nest whence he sprang. Human subtlety will never devise an invention more beautiful, more simple or more direct than does nature, because in her inventions nothing is lacking, and nothing is superfluous. The senses are of the earth, the reason stands apart from them in contemplation. The function of muscle is to pull and not to push, except in the case of the genitals and the tongue. Painting is concerned with all the 10 attributes of sight, which are darkness, light, solidity, and color, form and position, distance and propinquity, motion and rest. You do ill if you praise, but worse if you censure what you do not understand. Beyond a doubt, truth bears the same relation to falsehood as light to darkness. Men of lofty genius sometimes accomplish the most when they work least, for their minds are occupied with their ideas and the perfection of their conceptions, to which they afterwards give form. Good men by nature wish to know. I know that many will call this useless work. Men who desire nothing but material riches and are absolutely devoid of that of wisdom, which is the food and only true riches of the mind.